guys, welcome back to Clockwork Noodles for another breakdown of Summertime Render episode 21. Before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed. Very shortly, I am bringing you my end of season review. In this review, I'm going to be crowning top 3 anime of this season. What are my favourite animes? What have I thought about the season as a whole? What have I enjoyed? And what have I maybe not enjoyed as much? In that video, I get to break free, talk about everything as a whole, talk to everybody as a whole. All the multiple different breakdowns going on the channel. It's sometimes difficult to talk to all the noodles at once. These reviews, the midway reviews, they all tend to be the big noodle bowl gathering where all the noodles who love anime come together and we just discuss this season as it has happened. After that video, we're going to have the new full 2022 breakdown video where I tell you what's coming your way. There's some big heavy hitters coming our way and I still need to decide what I'm going to be doing. 3 animes confirmed on my breakdown list. I need to decide if I'm doing the 4th or not. Tune into that video and I'll tell you what anime is coming your way, and we're gracing our screens over the fall period. Really excited. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. It means so much to me. This season we have been very active and I really love it because all the comments allow me to get very excited, literally get to talk anime with you guys, and that makes me so happy. Let's get going. I called it. I did call that there's not just 2 Shidays. There's a third one, but the third one is more like a USB stick, which lays the groundwork for what happens this week. What was stopping Shide from having another body? I do also wonder if the third body is something that Hane isn't aware of. Starting to try and find areas where Shide and Hane maybe don't quite see eye to eye. There's a few of them this week, but I'm not fully convinced yet. I still need a little bit more evidence on that. I did find it a little bit weird that only now the press was getting involved because we've got someone high profile who has been murdered. There's been absolutely multiple deaths, many deaths, so many deaths that sure you can say maybe they got covered up, but there's been so many deaths, disappearances on this island over the many years. It does seem a little bit suspicious that nobody's actually looked into it at any point. High death rate in an area, people do start to take a notice, even if it is just maybe people are falling sick and dying. They still do notice. Death tolls are slightly harder to cover up than I think the animes may be making out. Shin's initial odd behaviour, being able to foresee the lightning, of course, it means he gained Ryu. Ryu now lives within Shin's. It's going to be a very interesting situation in his head when he goes to sleep at night and he's got Ryu talking to him. I really hope he has an off switch. Like, dude, I need to sleep. Just chill out. Do what you can in my head. He does now have a 2-second gap, so he has gained an ability. He has an ability to now see 2 seconds ahead. Shin has apparently tried to call to the shell, but nothing has happened so far. 2 times now, I have clamped down quite hard on Hane for retreating for absolutely no reason and it not making any sense. I still believe it makes absolutely no sense. Shell holds memories, only memories. Ushio is unable to manifest about a body. Even if, let's say, she maybe believed that Ushio was in the pocket but wasn't in the pocket, then it's announced at the end that technically Shide did tell her that Ushio was dead and they were aware there was a body floating around. There's absolutely no reason why she would not have attacked. Still think, even with the information they try to back it up with, that her not attacking, calling off the attacks is just stupid. I did initially consider that Shide wasn't telling her the whole story, but he does, because at the end we literally see them hunting down the spare body, so they are both aware there's a spare body floating around. Hane has cop-outs where she just could have killed Shin but hasn't killed Shin, and that's happened twice now. I did get a bit confused about the times when we found out that apparently Ushio will still wash ashore. I got confused because I couldn't remember what day she washed up on. Obviously that is the day of the festival. Ushio's memoryless body, a USB stick, is about to wash up on shore. Obviously they tried to intercept her a little bit before she even hits the shore, which is great because again you're buying a bit of time, but it makes sense. Why I think they mentioned it was Shide, because Shide gave her the idea. Before she died, she copied Shide. She must have seen the third body, the one with no memories, laying there and going, oh wait, I can do that too. Mio rejects So by pretending to be a shadow. To me, that felt very disrespectful. Just say no. Shin does it much better. Literally a few scenes later, he literally returns the favour by saying, nope, I actually like Ushio. I love Ushio Des. I want to see that as a meme, but I actually fully back this one. He does sister zone Mio, which is sad, but I mean, you were quite rude to So. Just don't understand the whole leading somebody around. If you have no interest in somebody, just tell them outright. Don't pretend to be a shadow. Don't pretend to hide it. Tell him to his face. He deserves that much because So did take the effort to say, hey, look, this is how I feel. Shadow Mio saying that Mio Mio might have a chance, Ushio vanishes, because obviously if they kill Hane, Ushio is a offspring or offcut of Hane and will therefore vanish. Even if that does occur, Shin's feelings won't just change that easily. I think even Mio knows that case. Even if you do suddenly get with him because Ushio is no longer around, you're getting him by default. That doesn't exactly feel great. At the bottom of your heart, she had survived, he wouldn't be with you. So I don't think she would happily want that. The scene with So's mum about to light it up in the name of Hane, but then nothing comes of it. She just sits there with gasoline and a match, but nothing comes of this scene. Whether she was meant to be hijacking them, trying to ruin them, whether Hane had actually hacked into her, because I don't know if she's had her connection to Hane cut. Maybe Shadow Mio has actually done that one, but I don't think it's been mentioned. But it's a very odd sequence just to kind of focus in on very quickly and then not do anything with it. Whether that's actually going to play into anything or not quite sure. Let's talk about parallel worlds and the idea of time travel. It's a very difficult one. And the only anime I really like it in is Steins Gate. I think that anime did perfect with the idea of multiverse and multiple timelines. The best way to think about this, and I've tried to break it down as easy as possible, Ushio has found a way to return. This is to come floating back on that day when she did actually wash up as an empty shell, an empty USB stick. So she has managed to copy all of her memories, all of that data onto the shell. The shell is currently the USB, and we're going to copy it back onto the hard drive. That is the only way I can literally break it down into a manageable chunk to understand how this is working and why this tide change has happened. We do see Shide and Alan contemplating the idea of tomorrow. Shide's shrine speech is of course sus and with double meanings all over the place. We as an audience know exactly where those double meanings are. So when he says stay to the end, obviously he means come and die. When he says we're all going to live a happy life, obviously he means for one more day. Tonight is the last night. He has plans to end everything. Even though he does state, I never thought about tomorrow. If he is having his own plan, I'm still not seeing where he's going to be implementing it, what he's going to be gaining. Obviously, if he does decide that he doesn't want to get wiped out, get left behind by Hane, and that's why he's working on his own, how is he going to implement it is the question. Hane did initially seem like she was onto Shide, maybe suspecting him. I can't read Shin right now like you do when you go into Shide. So that also might give us a little inkling of where Shide is able to go and think when it comes to avoiding Hane's suspicions. That if you're inside that mud, Hane can't read you. It's a possibility. He has been setting up this second plot, his own, like, I'm going to usurp you, when he's inside that mud. And he spends a lot of time inside that mud. So there's a possibility that Shide is the one who is trying to backstab Hane, but again, it's very, very difficult. She states that the tag, the handprint imprinted on his very soul, isn't working. She starts to suspect that Ushio's body is in the water. Quite quickly move on from her suspicions and give Shide her plan, like, this is what I would do if this is the case. We need to find Ushio ASAP right now. And that's when the search is on and we see both Shide and Hane working together again. So there's no initial change. For now, I'm not really seeing any chinks in the armor, which would say that Shide is going to backstab Hane. Apart from the perhaps idea that whenever he's in Shide, he's able to think differently. That's when his true thoughts maybe come out. But I do think that would be very difficult to keep up a happy facade outside whenever he is actually just a human. Being able to stop those intrusive thoughts, and if she can read his thoughts, I think it would be very difficult to hate her and have an idea of how to abuse the situation for your favour. I think it would be very difficult to orchestrate without her even picking up on a slight hint of something. The search for Ushio continues, and it's quite cool to see the chasers on the way that they do it, to scour the ocean, sending out all these little shadow things into the water, and Shin riding inside of Toki's baby Rosie, I think the name is. Was really confused because I don't know where he gained the ability from, but I guess that makes sense because he's learnt it from Shide. Everything that he's doing now has been set up for us by learning off the enemy. So the enemy is really good up until this point. I've not seen a way forward. Here we are, we're going to learn from them. Let's take a leaf out of their book. Ushio waking up and being like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? That's one of those moments where you're like, I need to go back to sleep. What the hell I've woken up into? I want out. It's her going, oh my god, is this a baby? What the hell's going on? And the touching reunion. Our trump card is indeed back. So maybe we have secured our route towards the final now, the route towards the goal. I don't want to say it's going to be a happy ending because there's still the idea that she's going to vanish. Would be quite sad. At the end of the day, she's still going to vanish if Hane is defeated. It's still going to be a situation where we have a good ending because the humans will win, but it's also going to be a very bittersweet ending currently because it looks like if you kill Hane, you're going to also destroy Ushio. It's going to be weird to see if we can provide an ending that negates this downside. Very interesting to see where we go now. We've only really got 4 episodes to go. Approaching the end, I can't believe how fast the actual season has gone. It's surprising to me. I can't believe I'm here announcing that I'm going to be doing my reviews soon. So I literally just did my midway review. So shocking how fast the night changes, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a great week. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your tuning in every week. Everything really does mean so much to me. If you're not subscribed, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We are very close to hitting 600. That's great. That means we're only 400 away from the target now. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye.